Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's dive into some serious NFL buzz that could shake up the NFC South and propel the Atlanta Falcons into a new era of defensive dominance. Rumors are swirling that the Cleveland Browns, currently sitting at 4-7 with a hefty cap space of around $22 million, are contemplating a move that could significantly bolster the Falcons' secondary. And trust me, this isn't just idle chatter. There's real substance here that could reshape how Atlanta approaches its defense in the coming seasons. Sources suggest that the Browns, who are in a bit of a rebuild mode with their defensive backs, might be willing to send Denzel Ward to Atlanta in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Now, that's a pretty attractive deal for the Falcons, especially considering Ward's elite talent. The Browns, with their cap space, are looking to make some strategic moves. They're rebuilding their secondary and might see this as an opportunity to offload Ward, who's been a shadow of the elite cover corner he was projected to be when drafted back in 2018. Denzel Ward, if you recall, has been a consistent presence on the field for Cleveland. Over his 8-year career, he's accumulated impressive stats: 280 solo tackles, 80 assists, 1 sack, 15 interceptions, and 50 pass breakups. His PFF grade hovers around an impressive 88. 0 with a coverage grade of 89.5, and he's allowed an average of just 4 yards after catch per reception. His EPA per target sits at -0.15, and quarterbacks have a rating of just 75.2 when targeting him. Those numbers really speak to his ability to lock down receivers and force quarterbacks into tough throws. In 2025, he played all 10 games, registering 32 solo tackles, 12 assists, 3 interceptions for 65 yards, and 1 forced fumble, all while maintaining a PFF grade of 86. 2, he's been a run support guy, supporting the Browns' pass defense to boost efficiency by 12%, and he's adept at shutting down big plays, allowing just 10 per game. So why would Cleveland consider trading Ward? Well, the Browns are facing some tough decisions. They have about $22 million in cap space, but are eyeing a potential deal for their star pass rusher, Myles Garrett, which could eat up a significant chunk of their cap. Plus, they're looking to bolster their wide receiver core and edge rushers, which are areas they see as priorities moving forward. There's also some skepticism about whether they can afford to keep Ward long-term, especially if they're eyeing a rebuild. Losing Ward would mean a step back in their pass defense, which already saw an 18% increase in yards allowed per game, from 210 yards to over 248. Think of it like the Jaguars losing Jalen Ramsey after Ramsey's departure. They experienced a big dip in their aerial defense, and Cleveland, if they let Ward go, could face similar struggles. Now, for Atlanta, this potential trade could be a game-changer. Ward is known as an elite man coverage corner, and pairing him with A.J. Terrell could elevate the Falcons' secondary to new heights. Imagine a defense with Ward shadowing the opponent's best receiver. His ability to erase top threats would be invaluable. The projections suggest that with Ward in the fold, the Falcons could see a jump of about 10 interceptions in the upcoming seasons, potentially rising from 9 to as many as 19. That's a huge boost in turnovers, which could turn close games into Falcons' victories more often. Furthermore, incorporating Ward into the Falcons' secondary could lead to a 20% increase in EPA per pass, meaning Atlanta's defense would become even more disruptive. Big plays against the Falcons could drop by 25%, and the overall coverage consistency would improve dramatically. Think about the matchup advantages. Ward's man coverage against receivers like Drake London or Kyle Pitts could create mismatches that favor Atlanta, especially in critical third-down situations. His ability to suppress YAC, yards after catch, to an average of just 4 yards per reception makes him a nightmare for opposing offenses trying to get chunk yardage. Looking at the bigger picture, the Falcons' current secondary, led by Terrell, has been solid but could reach a new level with Ward's addition. His presence would allow the Falcons to be more aggressive in coverage, knowing they have a shutdown corner who can handle the top receivers. This would also give defensive coordinator Dean Pease more flexibility to dial up blitzes or double-team other threats, knowing Ward can hold his ground one-on-one. Plus, his experience and consistency could be vital in tight games, especially in high-pressure moments where defensive stops are crucial. And let's not forget the NFL's recent trends. Elite corners like Ward can be the X-factor in postseason runs. Back in recent years, we've seen how a dominant secondary can carry a team deep into the playoffs. Think about the Dolphins after acquiring Certain. Their odds to reach the Super Bowl improved considerably, and a similar effect could happen for Atlanta if they secure a player of Ward's caliber. Bookmakers' odds for the Falcons to win Super Bowl LXI could shift from plus 5,000 to plus 3,000 with this move, making Atlanta a more formidable contender in the NFC. The division itself could feel the ripple effects. If Ward joins the Falcons, the NFC South suddenly becomes even more competitive. The Panthers, Bucks, and Saints would have to contend with a secondary that includes Ward and Terrell, making it much harder to complete passes against Atlanta's defense. This could result in more turnovers, fewer big plays allowed, and a significant boost to Atlanta's chances to dominate the division once again. The Falcons' defense, which has been trending upwards this season, could become an elite unit that opponents dread facing. Now, it's important to keep in mind that Cleveland isn't naive. They're aware of Ward's talent and the impact he could have. But with their current cap situation and the need to rebuild certain areas, moving Ward might be the smartest move to free up cap space and acquire draft capital. The second-round pick in 2026 is a solid return, and if Atlanta can land Ward, it's a deal that could define the Falcons' defense for years to come. It's a classic win-win scenario. Cleveland gets some much-needed draft capital and cap relief, while Atlanta upgrades its secondary with a proven, elite corner who can change games with his coverage. As we look ahead, the Falcons' front office will have their eyes on this situation closely. If the deal goes through, it's going to be a statement to the rest of the league that Atlanta is serious about competing at the highest level. With Ward in the fold, the Falcons could become one of the most feared defenses in the NFC, transforming their secondary into a true shutdown unit. Imagine the confidence this would give the entire team, knowing they have one of the best corners on the planet guarding their back, freeing up their pass rush, and creating turnovers that can swing games in their favor. This potential acquisition would also send a message to NFC South rivals. Atlanta isn't just content to rebuild, they're ready to contend now. With a secondary featuring Ward and Terrell, combined with the development of their young pass rushers, the Falcons could push for a deep playoff run and even a Super Bowl appearance. Fans are already dreaming about the possibilities. Imagine a defense that's as tight as a steel trap, forcing turnovers and setting up the offense in prime scoring positions. It's exactly the kind of boost this team needs to take the next step. Of course, all of this hinges on the deal actually happening, but the signs are pointing toward a real possibility. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and a trade like this would definitely turn heads. Atlanta fans, get ready. If Ward joins the Falcons, this defense could become legendary. It's the kind of move that can define a franchise for years and help bring that long-awaited Lombardi trophy back to Atlanta. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe Ward is the missing piece that takes this defense to the next level? Or do you think Cleveland might hold on to him, or perhaps look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions mean a lot to us and to the Falcons. We're all in this together, dreaming of Super Bowl glory. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. Let's keep the passion alive, and as always, rise up Falcon Nation.